Welcome to State of Affairs. I'm Steve Adubato. Once again, we are coming to you from the Agnes Ferris and JTV studio in beautiful Brick City, Newark, New Jersey. It happens to be a rainy day out there today, but I was going to say there's sunny things to talk about, but that whole thing didn't work. We have some challenging things to talk about with our good friend Greg Lalevee, who's business manager, International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 825, which is, help folks understand what that is, Greg.
7,100 men and women who operate heavy construction equipment, work on transportation infrastructure. We also maintain and fix equipment. We also mine aggregates.
I don't know what aggregates are, but that's a whole other story.
Rock, sand. So
why don't you say that? But you know what's interesting? Our colleagues at ROI&J, great publication with really interesting news. There was a feature story on you and your colleagues and some others in this industry who are modernizing and dealing with robotics in a different way. Talk about why that's so important.
Well, artificial intelligence, mechanization, and robotics is about to take over our industry. As operators of machines, we see it coming into our view every day. There's GPS control on bulldozers and excavators. There's sophisticated computers on cranes. So we're building an educational platform so that we can teach our current members how to master the technology, and as we bring in new members and apprentices, that we dovetail them into what the technology of the day will
Dramatically changes the industry?
It completely changes.
Are there more jobs, fewer jobs, or different jobs?
It's going to be different jobs. We think about the same number, but over the 122 years of the operating engineers, we saw the changes from steam to diesel, and then we saw the changes of cable manipulation of machines to hydraulics. But this is the most dramatic change we'll ever see because, as everybody knows, technology changes so rapidly. So we want to make sure we have the platform to change with it.
By the way, if you want to, very often what we do here in public television, we tell you about something you want to find out more. Our team will put up the ROI&J website. It happens to be on the November 5th, 2018 edition of ROI. It's a feature story on robotics and technology. How about this? You and I talk a lot offline about this quote-unquote gateway tunnel. Where are we and what is the problem? Is it simply money?
Well, it's coming down to everybody deciding what they can put in the game.
What is it? Let everybody know why. What is it? Why does it matter?
Well, the Gateway Tunnel is the tunnels from New York to New Jersey. It carries 200,000 passengers a day, 450 trains between Newark and Penn Station. It's 13% of Manhattan's workforce lives in northern New Jersey along the rail lines. The amount of the GDP is about 20% of the U.S. GDP that travels along there, and the tunnels are 110 years old.
We don't have the capacity anymore.
We don't have the capacity, and the capacity we do have is aging and in need of repair.
Okay. Donald Trump says what about this?
Well, originally there was a deal as Governor Christie had left office. It was between New Jersey, New York, and the Obama administration.
Sharing expense.
Yes, and President Trump said there was no deal in writing, so he didn't acknowledge the deal. So we're kind of back at the table. Since then, Governor Murphy, I think, has made a big move, putting up bonding for the Portal Bridge component of the project. So hopefully this will get some forward momentum.
If it happens, what happens?
Well, if it happens, it means property values in northern New Jersey. That's one of the most important components of making sure that we maintain mobility into Manhattan for people to get to work. It means lots and lots of jobs for our people. It's major work, but it's necessary and it's critical to the economy.
Greg, one of the other things that has come up, and by the way, let me just go, I just started a series of leadership and communication seminars for Greg's organization, full disclosure. There's something else that you've been very outspoken on. And it's like, look, we got this transportation trust fund. We raised the gas tax to put dollars into long-term infrastructure projects, right? Capital investment. And is the money being, quote, diverted into New Jersey Transit, who has massive problems? Is that the thing you're concerned about?
Well, the concern is there's $511 million going in from the Transportation Trust Fund into New Jersey Transit.
What's wrong with that?
Well, the law had been that there was a cap on what could be used for salaries. It was 13% or $208 million a year. But the language in this last budget said without limitation when it came to the caps. So we're concerned about how much is going to go into transit and where. So we're looking forward to annual audits that show us where that goes.
Let's break this down outside of the Beltway, if you will. Let's get out of the weeds and ask this question. If the dollars get diverted or moved from the Transportation Trust Fund for capital, road, bridges, projects, to New Jersey Transit, who has serious problems and everybody acknowledges it, what happens to the roads, bridges, and capital construction projects?
We don't get to fix them as fast as we otherwise would. We lose opportunity for federal matching funds. We typically get a 1-to-1 from Washington, so
A
500.
dollar there, a dollar here.
Yeah, so 500 million is $1 billion in capital construction projects.
I mean, if New Jersey doesn't put up the capital construction bucks, the feds don't put it up either.
Exactly.
People should care about this outside of your industry.
Absolutely. You know, we just went through an election, federal election, where much of the talk was how New Jersey doesn't get its fair share back from Washington. The one place that we typically did get it was in transportation dollars. And if we squander an opportunity to get our fair share of transportation dollars, our ranking's only going to get worse from the bad ranking we already have.
Okay, final question on this. To what degree is the New Jersey congressional delegation, what's now after the election in the fall of 2018, as a virtually, I mean, Democrats virtually control all of the seats, I believe, except for one. I think it's Chris Smith's, the only Republican seat. Does that make a difference if the Democrats, quote, control the lower house on this issue? Or is it the president and the U.S. Senate, which is Republican, they don't want it, they're not doing it, and that's it?
Well, transportation's always been a bipartisan issue. You know, it's been
back to the Eisenhower administration.
Always, and it's been that way historically. But when you look at the 11th congressional district, which relies so much on mass transit to get to Manhattan.
11th, excuse me, I believe that's the Mikey Sherrill district.
Right.
She's new, as we do this, the congressperson-elect. Go ahead.
And while she was urging her voters the Sunday before Election Day to get out and vote, one of the things she said to them is, maybe vote in the morning Tuesday if you're going to Manhattan. Let's not rely on New Jersey Transit right now.
Meaning she was worried about them coming back and being able to vote.
And I think that's a very telling remark for now an incoming Congresswoman, but good in the sense that I think that she'll be very much a hawk on this issue.
Greg Lalevee is business manager of an organization called Operating Engineers Local 825. It's an international union. How many members?
400,000 nationally.
Just a few jobs. And the industry is changing dramatically as we speak, technology, robotics, et cetera.
And we're looking forward to meeting that challenge and being able to master our craft as we have for 120 years.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it, buddy.
It's great
Stay
to
right
be
there.
Here. Thank you.
All right. This is State of Affairs. We are at the Agnes Veris studio at NJTV. We'll be right back right after this.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Agnes Veris NJTV studio at 2 Gateway. Funding has been provided by Georgian Court University, Englewood Health, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, New Jersey Resources, New Jersey Sharing Network, NJM Insurance Group, and by Adler Aphasia Center,